Hmm. Anyway, Charlene here. I'm in another location at my friend's house. Don't know why it's so grainy, but we're going to work with it anyway. This is a weight release, the new thought way. I'm just moving my book out of the way, and maybe I can push this back just a little bit so it's not so grainy. Today, I'm going to do another meditation or gratitude, probably either tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, not as late as tonight. Um, and yes, that's what I'm going to do. I apologize. I had two thoughts going at once. All right, so today we're doing affirmations. And um, just to let you know what affirmations are statements of truths. They are yes actions of the mind. They are the act, I hate this word, it's describing something that you're that you're trying to define with the word, but it's the act of affirming or confirming, or it's another word for yes, basically. It's declaring the truth. It's a mental movement from falsehood to the truth. And when I say truth in this instance, I'm talking in the large T, not the small t. Um, so it helps hold you steadfast in your mind, and mind being that of the one mind, God, the universal principle mind, to speak aloud what is the truth. It's also, affirmation is also known as the ointment of the ointment being our understanding of what is spiritual, and also the fluid in the nerve center as well. So um, if you know the song The Alabaster, what is it? It's called The Alabaster. Oh shoot, I love that song too, and I can't think of what it's called. I'll have to look it up. Anyway, but in the song, she talks about this very spiritual um, fluid that's in the alabaster. I don't want to call it an urn because it's not an urn. The alabaster, oh, I can't think of it, but it'll come to me. Anyway, so that is the nerve fluid from the spirit. Also, since it's a statement of truth, it also signifies that it is something that is already ours. It's already been given to us. It's very much like the desires of our heart are already ours. It's when we recognize that it is the desire of our heart. The Latin word is from desire, I think, and it means of God. So that desire that is in your heart comes from God, and it's already been given to you, to us. It is from the divine, and as we know, the divine always says yes. It's we who don't allow it, or we don't accept it, and I need to be taller. And we say no, and then we rail against God about what we're not getting. When I don't need this on, take these off. So um, so the statements of truth that you tell yourself in terms of, for instance, you could say, the divine spirit has, I'm just making this up on the spot. The divine spirit has is allowing me to release this weight now. And that's true. I mean, the divine spirit is allowing you to release the weight, but are you allowing yourself to release the weight? That's the real question. So And then if you go to Kings 19, 6 through 8, it says, eating of spiritual things is affirmation of sustenance. And it's that translates into the angels leading you to God's cake um, and drink, I think, wine, I believe. And so that represents the thoughts and words that these things, whatever the things are that you are thinking about, represent. Let me see. I had something here, but I can't read it because it's too small. I'll go back. I'll go on. All right. So for affirmations, when in silence, we go to our upper room and pray. We are affirming that we are sustained and nourished by the Spirit. So if you are, say for instance, you're just having a really bad day and you've been eating stuff that you just know that you shouldn't be eating, and I don't use should lightly, but you are saying that to yourself that you should not be eating this stuff. So rather than continuing to eat any and everything that is in your house, or you go out and buy something that you shouldn't imbibe in, that you stop. Now, yesterday and last week, I said if you stopped and gave thanks for the food that you were eating, or gave thanks for your body for intaking it without being sick, you would probably be able to hold, to wait, to stop. But if you've gone beyond, you can't stop, but you decide to pray instead, or to use an affirmation of truth about yourself. Like, for instance, you could say, I love my body, and my body loves me, and that's true. And will only feed it, I will only feed it when it's hungry. That's true. Um, and I will only feed it good things. I declare I will do this. Now, will is a tricky word because a lot of times when people use will, it's kind of very similar to try. And that means that that's not happening. You're not going to do it. So a statement of truth, more than likely, will not have the word will in it, nor will it have. It never has the word try, because that's just no. It's no. It's no. You're not going to do it. All right. So as we affirm, we are working with the salvation of God, or the Lord. And you silently realize and declare audibly, out loud, that you are willing, not will, but willing to take charge of your that you're willing to allow God to take charge of your affairs. But now, by letting God take charge of your affairs does not mean that you just sit back and go, all right, go ahead, God, I'm waiting. No, it's since God is within and you are creating with God, as God, you are taking charge, and you are stepping forth to do what is yours to do. And what is yours to do, and we'll work on this together, is decide what you desire and put down, and then use a statement of truth. Write out your own personal statement of truth and use it. And then do everything else in your power to do as well. For instance, our first week, we talked about forgiveness, and you would work on that, continue to go through the various people or situations or even yourself in terms of forgiveness. And then we went on to affirmation, and that was to ask yourself questions and to really get down to the questions, the real questions about what's holding you up or holding you back. And then we went into meditation, where you listen to the still small voice or God within to speak with you. And then we talked about nebulization, which is um, with the information, with the questions you asked and the information you gleaned from, is then to put feeling behind it. And then we get to prayer and gratitude. And prayer, of course, is a communication with God. Again, not to say that, but then you're having a conversation and then you are in gratitude or being thankful. And now we're here to affirmations. And affirmations have been gleaned from those 5 previous weeks, and you're able to state exactly what you know is to be true, and say it more than once per day. And we'll go over that as well. So, for instance, one of the statements is, I am mind, and that mind translates to mean I am God. And then you could say, I know. And then there's God is mind, and God knows it, and God knows. So it's, and now you might still be thinking, but how does this relate to weight? Now, when you're making up your affirmations and statements of truths, you will determine what it is and what it is that you need to work on in terms of getting to release the weight. Now, you might have, and I'll get into more of this, but Louise, tomorrow, Louise Hay, or my next video, I'm going to put it up. No, I probably will put it up tomorrow. Louise Hay of Heal Yourself had a whole list of why a person could be heavy in certain areas of their body. I'm just going to tell you two because I think it's really interesting. And if you think about it, it really makes sense. All right. So, for instance, she said that arm fat, and for women, it's usually right in here, arm fat, is a resistance to being loved or angry about um, love being denied. And if you think about that, we use our arms to hug another person. And if the other person doesn't want to be hugged, sometimes we take offense of that. And it might be that they just don't like to be touched. It doesn't have anything at all to do with you. But then we feel offended that they didn't want to take our hug. So that fat has accumulated there because you feel that your love is not being accepted, or someone is not returning the love to you. And you might think, well, that makes no sense, but it does if you think about it, because we are energy. We look solid, but we're energy. The chair that I'm sitting in looks solid, but it is energy. And actually, the entire world that we live in is nothing but energy. It's a currency, a current that's just been formed into what looks to be solid. So, fat on our bodies is formed by energetic emotions. So if you have not gone through the process of forgiving people, situations, or yourself, then and not releasing it, then you are not releasing weight. And if you are holding your breath because someone told you to hold your stomach in, you're also not releasing the breath fully. So, how can you release fat fully? And then, if you are always angry at someone, that is baggage that you are carrying along on your body. And wherever that anger might be, whether it's in resentment or self righteousness or denial of love or feeling denied by love, all of that is energy. All of those are emotional feelings that have coalesced into solid energy on your body as fat. I think right now, oh, I am over my time. I am ending right now. I do apologize for going to 16 minutes. This is Charlena with Weight Release the New Thought Way. I will be speaking with you tomorrow, continuing on part 2 of affirmations. And I think from my notes, it's probably going to be part 3 as well. So we might have to push the meditation further along. Anyway, this is Charlena with Weight Release the New Thought Way. Thank you for joining me. And I hope by this time that you have subscribed, and that's right there down below. I will try and think of a question to ask you as well. And you know what? In fact, let me ask you right now. Your question is, what part of your body, what part of your body um, is the fat that what part of your body has um, collected the most fat you like to rid yourself of? And why do you think you have it there? Is it resentment or unforgiveness or anger at someone or something? Let me know. It's right down there, down below. And until tomorrow. Oop, I'm already up to 18. All right. Bye bye.